Hi, I'm Neville J. Mackenzie, and you're listening to Asia Biz Stories, Entrepreneurs in Action. What would make somebody walk away from a six-figure salary, a senior leadership role, and the comfort of a corporate career, to start over with nothing but a blank sheet of paper? For David Butler, it was a single moment, a moment that revealed what truly mattered most. In this episode, Davis takes us inside that life-changing decision, sharing highs, the doubts, the wins, and the lessons from building a coaching business that transforms not only careers but lives. From facing skepticism and imposter syndrome to helping business owners reclaim their time, income, and purpose. David's journey is a masterclass in courage, reinvention, and the power of coaching. So whether you're dreaming of leaving your 9 to 5, growing your own business, or simply seeking inspiration, this conversation will give you insights you won't want to miss. So now, without further delay, let's begin. Hi Dave, how was your
Hey Neville,
holiday?
how you doing?
Good, I'm good, yeah. So I've invited you here for a quick chat. So just tell me a bit about your background and your work experience.
Wow, yeah. I guess, well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on. I've been looking forward to this. So my background, I've been in sales most of my life for my sins. So my first job, I never forget, was I had a week's trial at a local newspaper where they brutally threw the yellow pages at me and said, make a bunch of calls from 9 till 5, start with A and end in Z, and see how you get on. And there was 9 people on that trial, and only 3 of us made it through that first week. So I guess that sort of started, I guess, my journey into sales. I've always been interested in sales. I've always been interested in people. I've always been interested in buying and selling. But that was a real eye opener, long time ago now. But I guess it was good grounding. Gave me good grounding for the future. Um, you know, you just got on with it and found a way and learned on the job. And it's probably not particularly in line with HR policies now, but that was the way it was then, and that sort of started me, and I guess propelled me into my sales career.
Yeah. So tell me a little about what you're doing now in relation to your work.
Well, I guess um, if I go back a step, I I then started working for media companies. I then went to a company called Monster Worldwide. I spent 9 years there. I became a sales trainer. I became a sales director. I managed people, and I guess at that point I didn't really know it, but I really liked managing and coaching people. So I was a team director, but I was also a sales coach and sales mentor at that time. And little did I know that's what I would fall into a bit later. So my career sort of went through that, and I guess I got to a point where I ended up in recruitment. And a lot of business owners talk about that light bulb moment, that moment where you make a decision to do something so much risky, but something different. And I'll never forget the day I was working for a recruitment company. I wasn't really enjoying it. It was a good salary. I was on a six-figure salary, and things were good from a money perspective, but I wasn't particularly happy. But I guess the money was masking that. And my boss at the time actually. I'd been in since 6 o'clock in the morning. I was in early, away late, and I said, "Can I go and watch my son's football game? I'm going to leave a bit early." And he said, "You're going to make the time back up." And that actually flicked a switch inside me. And that night I got in my car and I drove back home, and I got in and I told my wife that I was done and I was going to start my own coaching business. And I think she thought I'd been drinking and said, "It's okay, dear, you'll be fine in the morning," type thing. But I'd made a conscious decision then. And it's a really good question you asked, when, at what point did you start thinking about that? I started thinking about I guess sales coaching and mentorship and helping people probably way before that. But it needed a trigger for me to do something about it. So, um, yeah, COVID came, and 2 or 3 weeks later, they made me redundant, or I quit. I can't really remember the situation. It was a conversation, and yeah, I entered into the world of starting my own business.
So you mentioned that you went home and you told your wife. That's a really important thing for small business owners. Um, the the support they get from their friends and family. Uh, how did you navigate that when you were talking, telling your friends and your family that this is what I wanted to do?
It's a great question. I totally agree. I think most people that don't run a business can't or will never understand what it's like to run a business, but they can support and help and be positive around you. And I think what I found was real polar opposites. I had real support from my immediate family, who still probably thought I was a bit mad, giving up a career that spanned probably 10 or 15 years and worked my way up to a relatively senior position for then to go and start something new in pretty troubled times. But I did have the support, and I think if something makes you happy or you have a real desire to do it, you find a way of being successful. There was also the people that I guess doubted me, and I'm sure this is not just me. This is a lot of people out there that almost questioned what I was doing and almost said I was going to fail. And I think that probably drives you on even more to be successful. The people that doubt that you can do it, or you can feel are doubting you. But yeah, I think it's real polar opposites. There were some friends and some, most of my family were really supportive, and then there was other people that probably thought I was going to fail.
Did you lose any friends?
No, no, no.
No.
I think,
Okay. Well,
I think,
yeah.
I think most of it's really, and I talk openly and quite humorously about this, but most of my friends will say it's okay for you. You just stand there and talk and get paid loads of money, and that's
Yeah.
their view of me being a business coach. I turn up, I talk a load of old cobblers, and people pay me huge amounts of money, which is, as you know, and we both know, is really not true. So, most of my friends probably don't even know what I do.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, but the close ones, they were supportive, and they've been with me since started the journey 5 years ago.
Yeah. So who benefits from what you do? Like you're out there coaching, and who
Mm.
benefits?
Um, I think a number of people benefit. I think you know I always say that everyone needs a coach. And I don't just mean business, by the way. I'm talking football. I'm talking sports, and I played a relatively high level of sport. I was lucky enough to play professional football in America, semi-professional football in the UK, and every sports person has multiple coaches. They have fitness coaches, mindset coaches. They have strength coaches. You name it. There's probably at the top level 4 or 5. But a lot of entrepreneurs or business people or business or people within jobs don't have coaches. So I think it benefits obviously the person that's getting the coaching if they're willing to put time in and implement, because there's no magic wand. They obviously benefit. I think their friends and family benefit from that, because if you can help somebody get to where they want to be and it gives them a better life, or things that they want, then the people around them can really benefit. Their wife, their kids, their friends, their family can really benefit. So people don't think of that. There's a real knock-on effect when coaching works, when both parties are together to get to a common goal. There's a huge amount of beneficiaries, and also I benefit because I guess I learn from the people I work with. I don't know it all. I make mistakes, even though I'm a successful business coach and I've been a successful football coach. Um, I make mistakes, and it's great for me to learn off other people. And I get a huge amount of um, seeing people live their ideal life or live life on their terms, is the way I put it. That gives me um, a huge amount of happiness. So I think there's multiple people that benefit out of the coaching.
So can you give me an example of somebody that's benefited from your coaching? You don't
Yeah,
have to
there's,
name their names or
no. It's
yeah.
great question. I think that, without being arrogant, there's lots of people. There's clearly people that I've worked with in the past that haven't benefited because some people want a magic wand, and I don't have one, and I don't profess to have one. And if I did have one, I'd be a multimillionaire. Um, but it's a two-way street, and people have to invest in the coaching. Um, and it has to be both parties. But I guess one person who I've been working with for over 4 years now springs to mind. It's a very good friend of mine now who runs a plumbing business, and when we got put in contact, he was fair to say he was probably working 13, 14-hour days. He was up at 4. He was in bed at 7 or 8. He wasn't taking the kids to school. He wasn't earning the money he wanted to. I guess he had a pretty stressful life. And I fast forward now. He works less hours. He takes his kids to school. He pays himself and his wife more money. He goes on holiday where he wants. And he generally works on the business rather than in the business. And I guess, that's my job, is to help somebody, I guess, understand where they are today and where they want to be, and what they need to do to get there. And the more I do this, the more I believe that whilst most of us, including me and you, Neville, love what we do, we love our business, it's still a vehicle to live our ideal life. I run this business because I genuinely love helping people. I love working, but I'm not afraid to say that I started this business to have freedom of time and freedom of money. And I'm using my business as a vehicle to live the life I want. And I feel there is a lot of small to medium business owners out there that are getting run by their business. They're not running their business.
So when you made the decision, I'll go back now. When you made the decision to uh, quit your job, did you have any doubts in your mind about what was
Yeah,
going to go ahead?
absolutely. I'm going to be very honest here. I think some people, because you're a coach, they think you're perfect, or they think you know it all. And I have the same doubts, the same worries, the same anxieties, the same imposter syndrome, if you might put it that way, as most people. And absolutely still have doubts now. There's still days when I'm going to be really honest, that you think, why am I doing this? Or moments where you think, wouldn't it be easier to do X, Y, Z? And I think those moments are getting less and less now. And I look up and I look at my board and I think that's why I'm doing it and that's where I'm going. But absolutely had doubts. You have those doubts in, can you do it? Will people pay you to offer the service? Can I grow? There's all these doubts that are, I think, very common in anyone that starts a business.
All right. So I'm going to bring up something now, just show you on the screen, and I just want you to talk me through it. What's
Yeah,
going on here? Yeah, just explain. It's your LinkedIn page.
it is. Yeah, it is. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up that. Yeah, so I've been doing this for 5 years. I came across the entrepreneur circle around about 4 years ago. I would go as far to say that the EC has helped me change my life. So I became a certified coach. I did a coaching license with the Entrepreneur Circle, and that gave me a really good grounding, a really good stepstone into business coaching. And I was lucky enough in November 24. In fact, I'll actually show you the award, Neville. It's right here.
Oh, that looks good.
Really proud on my desk. Yeah, it needs a bit of a clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was lucky enough to win National Business Coach of the Year, which was out of around 170 coaches from around the country. And outside of marrying my wife and the birth of my children and a few other sporting moments, it's got to be up there with one of the proudest moments, because 4 or 5 years ago I started with a blank piece of paper. My life was in London. My life was corporate, and then I started working with small businesses. So I didn't have a business to fund it. I started with nothing. I started with zero. I started with a blank piece of paper, and to be able to get to a stage where I've been able to grow my business to live the life I want, but also, or partly live the life I want, because there's still goals I've got and still aspirations, and I'm still not where I want to be yet. To win that award was not just a piece of metal and wood. It was I guess, payback for the risk, the heartache, the hard work that I've put in, and to a lot of my clients that have supported me through that. So yeah, the people in my business club make a joke out of it that I'm always mentioning it. I'm always mentioning it because I'm really proud of it, and I think when you win an award like that, it gives you credibility, and it shows that what you're doing is truly worthwhile.
So do you think that you mentioning that you've won that award, do you think that helps other people to get over the imposter syndrome as a role
Yeah, I
model?
think it does. Yeah, I think it's a good question, and since I've won that award, I'm now working with other coaches. So I now help with somebody else. I help other business coaches within the entrepreneur circle grow their business, and we started a business growth program, which you've kindly been on. That I guess changed the game a bit. Getting people to reset and relook at where they're trying to go and why they started their business and where they want to be in the future to give them the life they want. And part of the reason I think I won the award was for that. And on the back of that, I had lots of coaches reaching out to me saying, "How have you done it? It's quite inspiring what you've done." So being a business person, we've started a side of the business that enables me to work with them on the program that I've implemented, but also help them, trying to put in a plan to get to where they want to be. So that's really rewarding.
So you're a coach's coach.
Yeah, and as part of my
Yeah,
part of the
yeah,
business, I really want to grow.
yeah,
I really love working with other coaches because I've been there. I've
yeah,
been there with a blank piece of paper and a blank screen. I've been there staring at it, thinking, "How the hell am I going to do this? And what have I done?" And you asked that question earlier. Very honestly, I
yeah,
sat there a few moments. What the hell have I done? I've left a six-figure job and now I've got nothing. So I know how they feel, um, and I know what it takes to then start to grow and build that. And imposter syndrome plays a big part of that, and doubt plays a big part. So I feel like I can pass on good knowledge because I've been there and done it.
yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, Dave. I think we're coming up to the end. We might have gone over the 15 minutes that we set for this quick call as you're a busy coach's coach. Um, can you tell me how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's three key things I help with now. I obviously work with business owners, within Hertfordshire, small to medium business owners, on helping them on the one-to-one basis. I run my group coaching program in Hemel Hempstead very regularly, which enables business owners to come on and build their foundations of their business and their business plan over 7 weeks. And then I have a part to my business where I have a exclusive business club, which you are part of, that we meet once a month. And then I've got the working with coaches. So all people need to do is to reach out to me for a no obligation coffee, chat, beer, Zoom call. I don't charge for that. They're free discovery calls. If I can help in that discovery call, strategy call, I will. People can send me an email at david@davidbutlercoaching .co.uk, or they can get in touch on my mobile, which is 07701 023 614. So yeah, that's the best way. Just reach out if you're feeling like you need some help, or you're feeling a little bit down with your business, or you're a bit stuck, and we can have a chat and then see where it takes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. And of course, on LinkedIn, they can get in touch with you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, they can get in touch with me
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, and there's a number of ways. I've got on my website, I've got LinkedIn, I've got my email, and obviously you can give me a call. I don't mind receiving calls. Everybody, I guess, in business, I believe, needs somebody. I have a coach, so
Oh, you have
it's
a
good to.
coach.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a coach once a month
All right.
that keeps me straight and helps me, and challenges me and questions me, and is there sometimes when I'm having one of those days. And
All
I
right.
think it's really important for a lot of business owners to have somebody to reach, because it can be really lonely.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Dave. And
Thanks, Nat.
we'll
It's been
keep
a
in
pleasure,
touch.
Neville. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
David Butler's story is a powerful reminder that success isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. It's about building a life on your terms. From the moment he walked away from a six-figure salary to the countless business owners he's helped reclaim their time, income, and confidence, David shows us the real impact of following your calling. His journey proves that doubt, imposter syndrome, and the skeptics along the way are all part of the process, and that with the right coaching and support, you can turn that blank page into your ideal life. If today's episode taught us anything, it's this. Everyone needs someone in their corner, challenging them, guiding them, and believing in what's possible, even when they can't see it themselves. I'm Neville J. McKenzie, Asia Biz Stories, Entrepreneurs in Action.
This brings us to the end of this episode of Asia Biz Stories, Entrepreneurs in Action. Now we need you to hit the subscribe button and head over to AsiaBizStories.com for more great information on how to take your inspiration and turn it into action. Thanks again, and we look forward to having you join us next time on Asia Biz Stories, Entrepreneurs in Action.